the real topic here. Seriously? 4 in a season? That's not okay, Ben. That's not okay. Knicks picks.
To be fair, that was like the one game that I was like I didn't watch, and didn't care about. If anything, I had a parlay where I needed DJ Moore and Cole Kmet to score a touchdown. And I was begging them to, not realizing that at the time I had the score. So I actually, if I got that, I would have not gotten the score.
You know what? The fact that you've gotten 4 score predictions correct and you lost money on DraftKings is ridiculous to me, first of all.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Second of all, fuck you. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Picks Week 11 of the NFL season. I looked down because I wanted to see like if you were going to go. Anyways, Week 11 of Knicks Picks is here. I am joined, as I am always, by Ben. Ben, how you doing? Fuck you, by the way.
Better now that I can predict scores for shitty games, but doesn't matter because Atlanta loses 3. I'll get into them later, actually.
I just love having good weeks and it meaning absolutely fucking nothing because you got lucky on a Bears-Panthers game.
Literally the worst game.
So yeah, Ben got a score prediction. We might as well just get right into that. The current score of being in the background. Did you see that? The current score of Knicks Picks, 128 to 103. So take away 100 on each, Ben. What's the score?
Fuck you. I'm already suffering enough this week from what happened Sunday outside of the score position Thursday. All right? Fuck you.
Yeah, since I'm not going to have a chance to talk about the Falcons this week, I would just like to point out the fact that in the last however many games it was.
3 games. They lost to a rookie who made his first start, a quarterback who just got traded and didn't know anyone and had to have the offensive line know his cadence, and then
the worst team in the league.
And then a Call of Duty addict on the worst team who came back after a year of absence. Fire everyone.
Let's get right into this Week 10 recap. It started with the Bears and the Panthers, and nothing exciting about this game happened. And we will move on. We were definitely right to apologize to Germans because this game was atrocious, but the Colts did manage to win this one 10-6 over the Patriots. Mac Jones got himself benched, and then Bailey Zapp came in and did the exact same fucking thing. So,
hey, I don't know. That play call, that fake spike to an interception, that was amazing.
Brilliant. Great. Executed to perfection. But yeah, the Patriots are a train wreck right now. Colts won this one 10-6. We had a lot of great games this week, so I can't even sit here and say that any of these were the game of the week because there are so many candidates. But the Texans and the Bengals was a great game. Texans managed to win this one 30-27. Like we said, they're playing spoiler. Last week, we had all 4 AFC North teams in the playoffs. Bengals are now currently outside. Texans are currently inside. So, like we said, the Texans are going to be dangerous this year and an offensive juggernaut, as they've proven over the last couple of weeks. The Steelers went on to beat the Packers 23-19. Another late interception by Jordan Love to end this game. I mean, we said it at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to sit here and act all humble about the fact that we were right about the Packers all season long. So I'm just throwing that out there. The Steelers, on the other hand, I am still on this train that they are not as good as their record. The Buccaneers went on to beat the Titans 20-6. Yep. Baker Mayfield played, and so did other people. So, yeah. Cool.
That's about it.
Another candidate for game of the week. The Browns were down by as many as 14 in this game a couple of different times, it seemed like, but managed to come back and win this one on a game-winning field goal, 33-31 over what were the division-leading Baltimore Ravens, but now it is currently just an absolute clusterfuck in the AFC North on who's going to come out on top in that one.
So now are the Ravens the Falcons of the AFC and not the Chargers? Because they've blown a lot of double-digit leads recently, too.
I think it comes down to coaching, if I'm being honest. Harbaugh's a great coach, but closing out games typically falls on the coaches. The 49ers absolutely destroyed Jacksonville in their home stadium, 34-3. However, Christian McCaffrey did not manage to score in this game, so that broke his streak of 17 consecutive games with a score. The Jaguars, like we've said all season, just have a really, really spotty offense. When you have games like this, that can't happen come December, playoff time, anything like that. This can't happen. I don't know what's wrong with the Jaguars offense still. I mean, we're in week 10, still haven't figured it out. They haven't figured it out, but the 49ers finally look like themselves again. What is Josh Dobbs on? That's what I want to know personally.
I want to know too.
Right? I mean, I understand it was the Falcons and the Saints. It is what it is. He's playing amazing. He's playing great. And the Falcons and the Saints, I'll talk high on you for 1 second here. Falcons and the Saints have good defenses. They really do. Josh Dobbs is just figuring it out. That's plain and simple. That's what's happening. You want to talk about it?
No.
All right, well, I'll talk about it. The Falcons are ass. Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. Doesn't matter who's in the game. They're ass. Bijan Robinson, I don't know why you even fucking drafted him at this point. Kyle Pitts, not sure why you fucking drafted him at this point.
Kyle Pitts, Drake London.
Drake London, Drake London is great. It's just you don't have you've wasted all these picks on.
These are who we have. We got Tyler
non-quarterbacks,
Cordell Patterson, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, all of these players. And yes, we need a quarterback. I'm not going to say we don't. You should not be losing these games. Fire everyone. No one on that coaching staff should be on this. It should be available after the bye week. They should be.
Another absolutely insane game. The Lions went on to beat the Chargers 41-38, and we tend to, at this point, talk a lot about the Chargers and how they choke games and how bad their coaching is and yada, yada, yada. They played a great game. Defensively, they did not, but they played a great game. Coaching wise, offensively, I mean, the Lions just played better. That's pretty much what it comes down to. The Lions play better, and the Lions, like we've said all season, are a contender. Jared Goff, probably not the guy to get him to the promised land, but the Lions look great.
Arthur Smith, learn from Dan Campbell, because the Lions drafted a running back, and they're fucking using him. Sorry.
The Giants have been outscored by the Cowboys this year, 89-17.
You know what's sad about that? I can't even shit on you guys because I knew that this team was not going to be good.
Well, we're in full tank mode. Clearly, we're in full tank mode. If we're starting Tommy DeVito, we're in full tank mode.
But at least you're accepting that.
Yes. Yes.
I would wish Atlanta did.
The Seahawks went on to beat the Commies 29-26 on another walk-off field goal this week. I mean, both quarterbacks played great in this game. The Commies played a good game, just as Seattle is the better team, just plain and simple, and they got the win. I mean, there's not much more to say about that. I actually didn't watch this game, so I don't have too much information. I just looked at the box score, realized both quarterbacks played great. Clap, clap, same hell. The Raiders are now 2-0 after firing head coach Josh McDaniels as they beat the New York Jets 16-12. I'm only rooting for them because Antonio Pierce is their head coach, but beyond that, this game was atrocious. There was nothing great about this game. So not deserving of a Sunday night football game. Was deserving of a Monday night football game. They have beaten now the Chiefs and the Bills this season. They're coming from the depths of hell. The Broncos were the worst team remember when they lost 70-20 against the fucking Dolphins?
And we're like, this is terrible.
This is the worst team in the league. Yep. And now all of a sudden, Russell Wilson looks a lot better. The whole team looks a lot better. Courtland Sutton made the most insane catch I think I've ever seen. Dude. The Bills.
Dude.
I think we need to really look into the realization that the Bills are not making the playoffs this year. The AFC is just too good.
I'm not sure if they will miss the playoffs because I think they're too talented, but I do think they'll probably just limp their way in, and they're just going to get their ass handed to them.
New offensive coordinator maybe might fix things. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. But that rounded out the Week 10 games, and like I said earlier, Ben still managed to gain a point. Even I had a great fucking week, but that Bears and Panthers game absolutely fucked me. Ben gained a point, 128-103. Sorry, 28-3. Just wanted to put that back into Ben's head real quick. But as we move into the Week 11 picks, it starts with not a shitter on a Thursday night football. We actually start with what could be the game of the week between the Ravens and the Bengals. Ravens hosting. Both teams coming off a tough loss against tough opponents, and it's so hard to pick, but I kind of have to go with the Ravens in this one, unless they have a double-digit lead at some point in the third or fourth quarter.
Then you're like, I gotta back out.
Then you really start to question things. But I'm riding with the Ravens. I really want to root for the comeback of the Bengals after the rough start that they had to the beginning of the season. But it was tough. I just couldn't pick the Bengals.
I honestly looked at this as who's the home team, and that's where I went with. Like, both teams, like, talent-wise, stack up like almost 1-to-1, but it's who's the home team in a divisional matchup. I gotta give it to the Ravens.
We move into the Sunday games. Let me get this right out of the way. The Giants are losing to the Commies, and it's because we're tanking. Number 1 pick. Let's go. I kind of don't want Caleb Williams, though. If you want my honest answer for like what I want the Giants to do, I would love for the Giants to get the number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So that Caleb Williams goes first, and we take Marvin Harrison Jr. And we just wait a year for a quarterback. I think you take him and you draft a quarterback next year, because you still have to pay Daniel Jones. Whether you draft a quarterback or not, you're paying him this year. So you might as well give it a shot with him with a top wide receiver. See what happens. It doesn't work out. You get a high pick, you get a quarterback. We move into another potential game of the week with the Steelers and the Browns. If you look at it record-wise, technically the Ravens are still half a game ahead in this AFC North because they're 7-3. But this literally, you could look at this as winner of this game is the leader of the AFC North. Cannot believe that the Steelers are in this position. I am going with the Browns because I don't believe in the Steelers. I am this close to challenging your pick, but I'm not going to.
I mean, I'm not saying I like fully believe in the Steelers. I really don't. But if they're winning games when they're still not then the other team is gaining more yards than them. I don't know how, but they're winning.
Let's just say this. The Steelers and the Browns game is my 2-point conversion. We'll get back to this in my 2-point conversion. If I were to also challenge this, then I would be risking a lot of points on the Cleveland Browns. And younger me would come back and slap me in the face because that just doesn't seem right. We move on to my wager of the week. The Texans going up against the Cardinals. I mean, this is the worst team in the league, or at least one of the worst teams in the league, not counting the Giants. Going up against, right now, in my opinion, the hottest team in the league, the Houston Texans. No shot. No shot.
Yeah, I'm just being petty. I'm just being petty with my score. Fuck the Cardinals.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, I see no shot. I'm losing 3 points on this one. I'm just saying, you lost to the Cardinals. We beat the Cardinals. We're better than you.
Like I said, I can't say shit.
The Jaguars going up against the Titans this week. I mean, I know the Jaguars just lost 34-3, but it's the Titans. They just lost 20-6 to the fucking Buccaneers. So, yeah, I think the Jaguars have the perfect opportunity here to get their stride back because they're going up against a weaker opponent.
I also think that this is like kind of even though it's the Titans, this is definitely a telltale game to see if the Jags can kind of get back in rhythm. I will admit, I was very tempted to pick the Raiders here. They haven't been a winning team, but technically they're 500, so it's kind of like...
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, we're both going with the Dolphins. I'm just going to start it on that last thing. I understand it's, the Raiders are hot right now without Josh McDaniels. They're riding high. They're still not a good team. So, and they still don't really even have a quarterback. Aiden O'Connell is not.
And let's also be honest, who have they really beat?
Yeah, exactly. So, granted, who have the Dolphins really beat? Moving on to Ben's wager pick of the week, the Cowboys going up against the Panthers. I mean, I don't disagree, but these are the types of games Cowboys just don't show up to. There is I feel like a slightly more risk with this wager than my wager, but that's only because the Cowboys just tend to just not show up to games sometimes.
It's the Cowboys at this point.
Especially since we're getting closer and closer to December. The Lions going up against the Bears this week. This was a candidate for one of my wagers of the week because the Lions are just absolutely stomping on people right now offensively. Defensively, they had a rough one last week, but I do think that they'll bounce back from that against a weak Chicago Bears offense. I have 30-10.
So do I.
No shot.
Yes, I do. I have Lions 30, Bears 10.
Why do we do this? Stop.
What has happened more frequently? Me getting score predictions or us just predicting the same score?
Hopefully just us getting the same score happens more often because you need to stop with the score predictions. And that just shows how similar our brains think when it comes to picking these scores, but yet 4-0 over here. What the fuck is that? The Chargers going up against the Packers this week. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're never sorry. You're like Slower's biggest hater. No,
No, I genuinely do.
I'm
I
not
do
sorry
feel bad.
because I was right the entire time. We both know that. I am sorry because I know your pain. I know it way more than you, actually. Yeah.
Welcome to the tank season, buddy.
The 49ers going up against the Buccaneers. The 49ers just another opportunity to bounce back here. The Buccaneers just not a great team. 49ers found their stride last week. I think they continue this stride. And yeah, I think they trample the Buccaneers.
So I got nothing more than that.
He's a man of many words, folks. The Bills going up against the Jets this week. I know I said last week that if they lost to the Broncos, that I was 100% done picking the Buffalo Bills. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, the second I stop picking Buffalo, they're going to start winning. This is the trap. This is a trap game for me, not for Buffalo, for me.
For you, this is a
a trap game. They've baited me into not picking Buffalo, but I'm not falling for it. You can fall for it all you want. I'm not falling for it. I'll pick Buffalo this week because I think I'm smarter.
The fact that they already lost to the Jets with Zach Wilson, that offense also still being terrible week 1.
To be fair towards Buffalo, they planned their whole game plan around Zach Wilson not fucking being there. Now they're going to be planning their whole game plan around Zach Wilson being their only fucking option. So I think they're going to be a little bit more prepared than they were in week 1. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, I will admit this. I don't have comments in really either team. I have more comments, ironically, in the Bills winning. But I just...
Not falling for the trap. The Seahawks going up against the Rams this week. Another game that we differ on, but that's because you're like a part-time Rams fan, so you're always going to pick the Rams in these games, and you've never believed in the Seahawks, even though Geno's been playing pretty good the last couple of weeks. They need to figure out how to use Kenneth Walker a little bit better, but like there's, he's getting used, unlike Bijan. But yeah, I am going with the Seahawks in this one. I do think they're the better team, at least defensively right now. I mean, on the offensive side of the football, Matt Stafford has struggled this year, so I would roll with Geno right now over Stafford.
I mean, I weirdly believe more in the Rams defense than the Seahawks defense, but I'm also, it's not really home, but the Rams are more of the home team in LA than the Chargers. At Wegmans, I randomly found a Chargers fan. I was like, oh my God, they exist.
Oh shit, dude, that's... Did you play the lottery too?
I was tempted. I was very tempted.
The Broncos going up against the Vikings this week. I really thought this was going to be a different one. But once again, we're both not believing in Josh Dobbs. And weirdly enough, we're both believing in Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos and Sean Payton. But I mean, they've looked good. They, like we said, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Bills, they're on a hot streak. They look like they figured it out on offense. Defensively, they look great.
This is a weird one though, because like the last time I can remember, at least from last season, when the Broncos were in primetime, they've been terrible, but that was also last season. And the
Vikings have always been terrible in primetime, but that's because of Kirk Cousins, and he's not there. So like,
well, this year he actually did decent, but like
right.
The Vikings in general, so it's like, what's gonna show up? So
right.
Who knows?
We finish out week 11 with a Super Bowl 57 rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I had a couple of games earlier where I said these were candidates for games of the week, but this has to be your game of the week. It's a tough one. Both coming off a bye week. Both coming off of not the greatest of performances in the last couple of weeks when they did play, but only 3 combined losses between the two teams and 15 combined wins. So it's going to be a great game. I picked the exact same score as what happened in the Super Bowl between these two teams last year. I mean, I'm expecting a great game. I'm expecting both teams to show up. I'm also expecting to potentially get this one wrong because obviously I'm picking the Chiefs because, like I said, I'm picking the same score as last year, and I hate the Eagles. So, like, I could definitely see the Eagles winning this one.
I could see literally either team winning this game because, like, I don't really, like, the Chiefs don't have,
but I just
aren't
want
on the same level offensively as the Eagles, but, like, the Chiefs' defense is really good.
I just want to put this out there now. Chiefs fans, Eagles fans, NFL fans, this game is going to end on a controversial call. Almost fucking guaranteed at this point. It's either going to go the Chiefs' way or it's either going to go the Eagles' way. Quit your bitching. I'm saying this early, before you even start bitching. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop. No, I heard. No, shut up. And we finish it out with the 2-point conversion. Like I said, I'd be going back to that Steelers and Browns matchup. I don't believe in the Steelers offense. I do believe in this Browns defense. So I don't believe that the Steelers are going to put up more than 250 yards of offense. And the Steelers are turning this ball over at least twice in this football game. Interception, fumble, don't care how it happens. Downs, 2 turnovers in this game against the Cleveland Browns.
What's sad is I would still feel confident the Steelers win this game.
It could happen.
Well, for mine, this is the reincarnation of Buffalo hater Ben. He's back. I'm back in full force. And I'm
rightfully so. I can't even hate on this Buffalo hater Ben because before you didn't have a reason. Now you have every reason in the world. Now it's fair game. Have at.
I don't feel fully confident to a point, but I'm just laying down the hate. I think Josh Allen will throw. I think Zach Wilson is going to be so much better than Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's going to throw for way less yards, and he's going to have more turnovers than Zach Wilson in this game. I saw something that he is like, the last 5 years, he has been either leading or up there in turnovers. And that's including the years with Brian Daboll.
I think he's at 5, 6, or 7 games in a row now with an interception.
Or some turnover, something. Like it's just not good.
That is it for Nick's Picks Week 11. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, don't forget to follow us over on Twitch and over on Facebook for updates on live content and live content over on Twitch. And one last thing, Ben, stop it. Stop it. You know what you're doing. Stop it. No, stop it. But that is it for Nick's Picks Week 11. Ben, I'll let you talk now. Is there anything you want to say before we head out? If it has anything to do with a score prediction, I'm walking to your house and slapping you in the face.
So I'm just kidding. All I hope for is, because after the bye week, Atlanta plays the Saints. I've never would want to do for the Saints more. Just because, again, fire everybody.
But that is it for Nick's Picks Week 11. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one. Peace. I'm serious, Ben. Stop it.
So now I gotta ask you a question. If we get that, what was it? The Lions and Bears one correct. Like we both get that score prediction. Are you gonna be mad that I got a score prediction?
Yes, I'm gonna be mad
that you still got one.
Yes, I'm gonna be mad because I'm down by 25 points, Ben. I'm having good weeks. I've had 3 back-to-back good weeks, and only one of them netted a 4-point comeback. 4. You were up by like 12 by week 2.
I wonder what the record was for points. I think I might break that. Bye, guys.